Grim morning, and welcome to the Grim. I'm your host, Kristen. On today's episode, we'll be opening the gate and entering Stull Cemetery, located in Stull, Kansas. So grab your favorite mug, cozy up, and let's take a dig into history. As someone from the Midwest, I was used to some pretty boring graveyards growing up. We didn't have any lush rural gardens or avenues of oaks. So where we've opened the gate this week, its scenery isn't much different. It doesn't have in present history, and if you pass it on the road, you'd most likely keep on driving. So why feature Stull Cemetery at all? Its lore is very impressive. When I first read about Stull, and I was thinking, okay, this isn't episode worthy. Yet I found myself intrigued and kept reading about it, going down a rabbit hole of urban legends, which listeners I figured would captivate you as much as it captivated me. We'll start off with its biggest one and the reason I came to Stull Cemetery captivated. The cemetery is just one of two locations in the world the devil is said to appear on 2 nights of the year. The other is in India, just so you know. It's rumored the devil appears on the last night of the winter or the first night of spring and Halloween, which leads to the question why the tumbleweed hamlet of Stull, Kansas, out of the entire world would be chosen as the location for the devil. The urban legends passed down for years say he's there to visit a witch buried within the grounds. The cemetery is also said to have been used for gallows for condemned witches in the area, hung from an old tree. Folks swear an old tree in the graveyard once served as gallows for condemned witches who returned each year as Satan's army. Sadly, the tree was cut down a few years ago and no longer is within. But to add to the oddity of the story, a grave with the name Bewitched resides inside. Many believe this is where the lore was born and just a fictitious, spooky tale. But a tale of a woman dressed in white on Halloween has been told, luring drivers to their death along the highway's edge, never to be seen again. This has created many to speculate the possibility of a witch on the grounds, or maybe outside its gates. The devil is also said to be lured to Stull, visiting a grave that contains the bones of the child of Satan, born from a witch. The legend is that the child was born with extreme deformities. The boy only lived for a few days and was buried on the grounds. Visitors in the cemetery a few years back claimed to have taken a photograph with a ghost of a werewolf-like boy peeking out from behind a tree that appears, which sounds pretty creepy and otherworldly, along with rumors that the town's name originally was Skull, but covered up by renaming it Stull. Now, before we go into more stories of haunts or legends, it's important to know a little about the history of Stull. Stull was founded around 1857 and originally known as Deer Creek, the name either being from someone actually seeing a deer by a creek or translated roughly from an indigenous name. Settlers were coming from Pennsylvania Dutch country in America and Germany to escape German military duty and for the promise of freedom in America. In the 1890s, the town's first telephone and switchboard was installed, then later on a post office in the back of the very same building. The first postmaster of Stull was in fact Sylvester Stull, to whom the town was renamed after, casting away the rumors of how the town was originally named. The post office was discontinued in 1903 from the town's extremely small size, but the name had stuck. Stull only had 31 residents in 1912, with one quoted describing the town, saying it was quiet and easy, sometimes even boring. This was just before automobiles were invented, and the trip to larger cities like Topeka or nearby Lecompton could take over 2 to 4 hours to travel to. Stull was in fact in the middle of nowhere, literally and figuratively. The town then saw a small boom and the hope of a railway cutting through it till around the 1950s, when it once again became a sleepy city. Stull wasn't without its tragedies, however. The first was a boy named Oliver Brandmeyer, who was wandering into his father's field, who was doing a controlled burn at the time. If you're unfamiliar with a prescribed or controlled burn in farming, this is when the fields are intentionally set on fire to remove unwanted plants and also help the health of the soil. Oliver tragically passed away, but his death led to the belief that if you stepped on his tombstone, you would go straight to hell. The other was when a man was found hanging from a tree after going missing in town. So when did the devil rumors start? In November of 1974, an issue of the student paper, the University Daily Kansan, from the University of Kansas, released an article claiming the devil appeared in the stall twice a year, once on Halloween and then again on the spring equinox. The article also claimed of haunted by legends of diabolical, supernatural happenings in town, leading to rumors saying the cemetery was one of the 7 gates to hell, and then that the nearby Evangelical Emmanuel Church ruin was possessed by the devil. Yet the rumors didn't stop there. It was also claimed in the 1850s the town's mayor was brutally murdered, stabbed to death, by a stable hand in the cemetery's old stone barn. This was then later converted into a church, but again, these were just claims and rumors, not facts. Which leads us back to the town's history that refutes these claims because Stull wasn't established until 1857, known back then as Deer Creek, and didn't have a mayor, making it impossible to verify or have any truths in the stabbing urban myth. Leading to public intrigue, though, on March 20th, 1978, more than 150 people waited for the devil in the cemetery, hoping to confirm the newspaper's tale. But no appearance was had. Stull, however sleepy, wasn't done just yet with the outlandish claims, again in 1990. The Pope was rumored to have redirected the flight path of his private plane to avoid flying over the devil's ground of Stull, but no evidence supports this rumor at all. The issue was the popularity of attempting to confirm the claims, and rumors led to more rumors and claims. Visits to the cemetery by teenagers or university students for a spooky tale had residents irked and bemused with their urban legends of the town. When others in the past attempted to interview the town residents, they did speak out against the cemetery's vandalism and the macabre stories, but they did little to try and stop the visitors originally in the cemetery. The old stone church didn't help matters as well, being abandoned in 1922, leading to the speculation and curiosity. Midnight visitors saying the decaying wooden crucifix that was still hung on the wall of the abandoned church was thought to sometimes turn upside down when entering what was left of the building. Witnesses swear no rain would fall within the roofless church, making it seem steeped in black magic or the building was bewitched. An urban legend also claimed within is a staircase in the basement, and if you follow it downward, you would eventually reach the entrance to hell. But if you attempt to escape or climb back up, you'll be climbing for weeks upon weeks. But that's only if the devil himself doesn't grab you at first. A tale of 2 young men claim who were visiting the grounds one night became frightened when a strong wind began blowing out of nowhere. Fleeing the cemetery, they ran back to their car but found it on the other side of the highway, facing the opposite direction they had parked it. Another young man then claimed to experience this strong wind, but inside the abandoned church. He was quoted saying the sinister air knocked him to the floor, and he wasn't allowed to move for some time. Still, I feel as though, but wait, there's more cemetery tales, more than most because there is in fact still more to tell. In 2002, a new oddity was added to the story again. The old abandoned church was demolished, but no one knows by whom. The property owners didn't authorize the destruction of the old building, yet it mysteriously was just gone. 1 week prior, it was believed to have been struck by lightning, causing the collapse of what had remained of the church. Perhaps maybe gone for good, but in a unique way. The town finally, though, had their fill of visitors and urban legends, putting up a security fence around the grounds with signs saying no trespassing, with the town police now regularly patrolling the area. Here at the Grimm, we don't think we've heard the last of Stull Cemetery by any means, and we're sure sooner than later another urban legend within the grounds will surface. What urban legend do you think next will surface in Stull? The grave grind for Stull Cemetery is a bit of a unique one, with the small town Sands coffee shops. Nearby Stull is Scooter's Coffee in Lawrence, Kansas. We highly recommend the white hot chocolate. For more honorary grinds in the area, please visit the-grim.com. For now, we're closing the gate on Stull Cemetery. We hope you enjoyed our dig into history. If you did, subscribe today and join us next time when we open the gate on the Grim.